All right, man. Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
Salute, salute, triple salute. You already know.
And to get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you're from?
Oh man, I'm DJ Limelightz, world famous from Detroit, Michigan, just holding it down all across the world though, man. I'm all across the Midwest, across the globe. So you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm repping for the whole state, the whole country, you know.
Now, with you being from Detroit, do you think it made it harder for you or easier for you to get into the music industry?
Um, I would say it probably made it probably average because you know Motown, we got a deep history with the music biz, with just Motown, you know, being started in Detroit. So
Yeah.
you know, we do got a couple ancestors that are still around who be passing a lot of game around. And then, you know, on the flip side of it, just like a city who might not have anything, you know, you always got gatekeepers where the information a little hard to get to. So it is what it is.
Now, what made you want to get in the music industry in the first place?
Typically I always been in music. My dad put me in drums as a kid, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I was in the choir growing up at church, you know, just all of those things.
Okay. And then you said your dad put you into drums. Who were some of your early mentors when you decided to take music professionally seriously? Who were some of your mentors who gave you game or you studied along the way?
DJ Liquid was one of the first people I actually looked up to. That was my when I threw parties, that was my go-to DJ from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? He was real versatile with, you know, the hits and then playing rap music, trap, you know, R&B.
Yeah.
DJ Mo Beats, who's Big Sean DJ Drama, just being a big, you know, influence on the culture. Just guys like that.
Yeah. Now, I know you got your start in college in Bowling Green. How did you get your opportunity to become a DJ, and how did that lead to your radio opportunity in Toledo?
Well, honestly, I went home after my freshman year and I just, you know, I decided I wanted to embark on like the entertainment industry. So
Yeah.
I started throwing parties at a local club in Detroit. And eventually, when it was time to go back to school, I just took everything that I had learned that summer and kind of applied it out there at the college town, which was not as vibrant as, you know, a city like Detroit. So
Yeah.
just bringing things like pre-sale tickets and things like of that nature just to the culture of partying in Ohio. They weren't used to it. They just were
Yeah.
used to standing in line, waiting to get in the club to pay to get in. So just innovating things, and you know, one thing led to another where I was like, okay, I got the club thing going. I kind of want to start controlling the music a little more. So I kind of bought some equipment and I spent a lot of time in people's dorm rooms, just, you know, because I had a small dorm room in college. So I used to put all my equipment in another dorm, like across campus, and I go over there
Okay.
practice. Um, and then that led into like the Greeks. The Greeks kind of reached out because I was already kind of popular. They reached out like, man, we hear you DJing now. We want to give you a shot. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me a shot at like the icebreaker, and then from there on, it's just been running. You know, that just led into me running into a guy named Big Lou the Mayor out of Toledo. He was
Yeah.
already a radio personality out that way. And I used to borrow equipment from him. I used to pay him to bring speakers, like all of that type of stuff. So that just led to him seeing my ambition and saying, hey, you know, I'm on the radio. I want you to submit some mixes. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh.
that turned to.
Now, you started with Detroit, as you said. You started throwing your own shows and kind of got your feet wet by doing the party scene. Did you already have a connect with the clubs in Detroit, or how did you get the opportunity to start throwing your own shows in the first place?
Honestly, I didn't have like no secret plug or anything to the clubs. I just kind of went out and it was only so many clubs in Detroit. So I kind of went out and I just tried to meet with the owners and just kind of let them know like I wanted to do like a college event.
Dope.
Was there any way I could pay to do it? And if I had to get extra security, I would, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then as far as just promotion, like this is at a time where Big Sean was trying to come up, like, you know, like that was a close friend back in the like not to say back in the day, but like as our upbringing, like, you know, me, Sean, and a couple other guys that were real intricate in the music scene in Detroit, we kind of just scratched each other back. So like I had an event, you know, Sean to pull up, or vice versa. If Sean needed records spent, you know what I'm saying? We would do our best to just, show love and kind of blow it up. So everybody kind of was scratching each other back at the time, and that just helped my parties just get the boom. I feel like, everybody was clicking on one page.
Now, when you're submitting mixes for a radio show in Toledo, had you ever submitted songs for a radio before? And what kind of thought processes did you have to use going into a radio mix versus your mixtapes and everything you were doing in the clubs?
Honestly, I had never done radio before, but I was really in tune with the culture, because in Detroit we had like this group of DJs that ran the radio scene called the 7 Deadly Techniques.
Yeah, salute.
And those guys kind of just laid the format out of what a radio DJ would be like expected. And we used to have like these Sunday sessions where some of the guys will all get up together and, kind of mix it up and just share gems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just kind of led to like me knowing the format of radio, like how to do a mix, you know what I'm saying? Like how to blend a record, top records with some of the newer records, never 2 newer records back to back. It's all programming,
Now, were you working on the late night shift? Were you at mid show? Like,
honestly,
what time zone did you have?
Honestly, not to cut you off, they were just throwing me in like holiday mixes, like like those weekends where you catch like all the DJs that's local and popping, like submitting their 2-hour mixes and stuff like that. So,
well, it says a lot about you though, because for a radio show to open that up to you on the holidays, that's when a lot of their fans are actually tuning in for those mixes. So it said a lot about your talent that they were giving you those opportunities. How long were you on the radio out there, and then how did that lead into you working with all these artists and stuff we're going to get into tonight? Like, how did that transition happen for you?
I want to say I probably did radio with Toledo like every holiday for probably like a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Then I ended up graduating college and moving back to Detroit, and I kind of finessed my way into doing the same thing at 107.5 in Detroit. Just getting in over there doing holiday mixes, and then I was doing holiday mixes and filling in when like DJs couldn't make it to their mix show. So like. Yeah. I never had like my own official 7 o'clock every night mix show, but like I was moving and grooving. Like when they had live broadcasts from the club, I used to go do those for them. You know what I'm saying? So like I was putting my blueprint down.
Dope. Now you mentioned that you and Big Sean grew up as knew each other. How was it watching his rise to stardom? Like you said, you're a DJ, you're in Toledo, you come back to Detroit. He's making waves, you're making waves. How was that experience watching it from your viewpoint?
Honestly, me and Sean kind of connected like when I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
I was popular more so for sports like during the high school phase. So like, I had to go to summer school one summer, and it happened to be we had a few popular schools in the city. So I went to summer school over there at one of the more popular schools, and Sean was in summer school too. And it's just just networking and just getting cool with guys and shit. You know what I'm saying? He used to come up to my school, rap in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? That's like back when, battle rap was still a thing. So like, we had a guy at my school who we kind of hyped up to come get Sean to come. We knew Sean was better than him, but like it was just a thing, like, so it was cool though. It was cool. All in all.
Now I know you also had the opportunity. You went on tour with Dej Loaf, another Detroit legend that you connected with. What was it about her that made you want to go on tour with her, and how was that experience for you?
Honestly, I like around the time I met Big Sean, I met a guy named Sayed Tone, who was like him and Sean was best friends, and then fast forward to like 2014, 13, or I think it was around somewhere around that time, is where we formed a little clique called IBGM.
Yeah.
Sayed Tone, a guy, another guy, I can't recall the name. Another guy though who helped form IBGM or started IBGM. It just was a collective of DJ, artists. We had hosts, we had R&B singers, and Dej was a part of the clique.
Okay.
everybody just brought their best to the table at the time, you know what I'm saying? With me being a DJ that was all over the scene, you know, I just had an ear for the music at the time, you know what I'm saying, and what would pop. So Dage was sending me records, and we kind of connected. And then I remember I had an experience where I had company in my house, and I had just got a new Dage record, and they like the people at the house kind of like, you know, it was like for me to check out, but it was like I kind of let the people in the house catch a vibe, and they kind of really caught the vibe. And that record ended up being Try Me, you know what I'm saying?
Amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I told her immediately, like, I think this might be the one for you. Let's shoot the, you know, let's try to move to shoot the video. But, you know, it was all kind of stuff going on at the time. It kind of slow rolled into a thing, but that didn't stop my motor for the record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really trying to push this record in the clubs and shit. Like, I'm giving it to all my DJs that I'm cool with, other DJs. And then you got Say It Ain't Tone working the record with some of his celeb friends and XYZ. So we end up popping Try Me off as a camp. We actually were able to pop that record off to a national. With, like, we had a budget. You know, we did have an investor at the time, the head of IBGM. He was probably investing little ins and outs, but for the most part, it was pretty organic how we kind of got the record to get off the ground. And then that just leads to, you know, if anybody know Dave's Love career, when, you know, it popped off really fast. We was on tour with Nicki Minaj by like the next summer, I want to say. Like, and
so when you're with IBGM and you get introduced to Des, was there something about her that was different? You know, I'm sure you being a DJ in Detroit, you probably got all kinds of artists coming up to you saying, "Yo, check me out, check me out." What was this something? Was there something different about her that really grabbed your attention and made you, you know, check out that record, or was it just her being a part of the camp?
You know, it was partially being a part of the camp, but like I don't know, we was just all a crew. Like, we went everywhere together. If one person had a show, we all was pulling up, or, you know, the support was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because we got you popping, you a rapper, you popping, he a DJ, he popping, he do R&B, he popping. So when we drop one person song and we got all these, you know, people pushing the same thing, it just made everybody be able to go forward. And like, I was doing mixtapes at the time, so I might have everybody in the city on there, but like my guys that's in the camp, I'm gonna make sure they stand out on these mixtapes. And you know what I'm saying? I'm having in-store releases for these mixtapes. Like, I was moving like on this, like, you know, like I said, DJ Drama was a big influence. So, you know, I wasn't trying to, you know, I realized to be a big DJ, you kind of gotta be with the people outside of the club. You can't always like, if you only with the people when you in front of them, it's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? For you to be a household name, you gotta figure a way to. When they in the car, they listening to you. They in the club, they listening to you. Or they woke up this morning, put a T-shirt on with your logo. So, you know what I'm saying? I was big on those things. Just learning in school and understanding, you know, getting a degree. You know what I'm saying?
You have a degree for this, so you came into this music industry with a bachelor's, and you've studied this. How are you using some of the things you learned in school to help you now that you're the successful DJ, touring around the world, and you doing all this dope stuff? How has your schooling helped you with that, you think?
I mean, number one is communication. Just being able to, you know, read the room is a big thing for me. Like, I know when I'm in certain rooms whether I need to be quiet or, you know, fly on the wall, or if it's my time to shine. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's one of the biggest things I learned in college was how to communicate effectively. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of our teachers just having like a lesson where we had to do something where like we had to get our point across in like in one sentence almost. You know what I'm saying? Like something to that effect. I don't remember the actual, you know, experience that we did that day in class, but I know it was something to the effect of getting your point across quickly. Like, you don't have all day to talk to these people, so what do you say in 2 lines that you know, grab their attention? You know what I'm saying? So just having that little background with that, and then a little marketing background, you know what I'm saying? Understanding that, you know, people are going to gravitate to things that they're marketed, not just things that you know.
I wanted to highlight that for you because so many people want to be in this music business and they've got the talent, they're a dope artist, but they forget that business part of it. So with you having that business background, I'm sure it helped you a lot. Going back to that Try Me record for Days Loaf, like that's a legendary song. We know it today, like you said, is one of the ones that really helped spring her career. What was it like being on tour with her? Like from the ground stages where you're just trying to work that record to where you start seeing it's picking up momentum and people are starting to request it. How was that experience for you as the DJ going through that?
Honestly, I was with Days Loaf for a long time, like literally from like I didn't come when the record popped. Like I was there before that. I was working records that didn't pop for her. You know what I'm saying? I took a risk on a lot of records back in the day. And I did realize Dash was a star like one day because I initially, funny story is I turned it down initially.
Okay.
Because I was working with a lot of artists and I just didn't want to, you know, take another artist at the time. And then with it being a female, I just had never done that. So I had honestly turned it down. And then I was working a show, or I went to a show that she might have been performing at, and I kind of seen like, okay, like all she need is a DJ to help.
She just need the help. Yeah.
So that just turned on us really locking in, like, you know what I'm saying? I think she trusted me with the show. You know, everybody else in the camp trusted me to, you know, put things together on the show side. So
was that your first time being a tour DJ where you had the artist and then you were the DJ behind it, making sure the music sound right? Like you said, doing all that?
My first tour was with Say It Ain't Tone,
who
I mentioned earlier. He took me on tour. And I think we was on tour with, I can't remember. I think it was one of MGK artists though.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I think it was like Dub or something like that. We might have been on tour with something like, it was just like it was like an 8-city tour, but that was, you know what I'm saying, just enough for me to understand what was going on. Like, and I had always done, like, when concerts start coming to Detroit, like I was DJing down there every concert for a while. So like I was just getting the feel of being a show DJ more than like, you know, I just like one of the things with radio that didn't stick with me was having to be in the room and you by yourself and creating a vibe.
Yeah.
So to go right from radio to shows and you getting that instant, like, instant reaction after record, I felt like I had found what I wanted to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had went through all the levels. I done did clubs, I done did radio, I done did college radio where you just, you know, like I had did a lot of different little niches in the DJ field. So when I finally got to the stages, I was like, damn, this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I was still working in clubs, but I just started making sure any concert or anything like that that I could be a part of, I put my blueprint on.
Yeah, and you definitely have done that. I've seen you've been overseas a lot. You've performed as a DJ for some of the biggest festivals there are. What was the first place you went outside of Detroit to be, you know, a tour DJ or a DJ? And what was that experience like leaving Detroit to, you know, do your dream as a DJ for the tour performance?
I'll say out the country wise, I had been to Canada and stuff with like Dej on the Nicki tour, but when I got with Gucci, that's when I went to like Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Yeah. When I got with Babyface Ray, we took it far as like London and, you know what I'm saying, like Portugal. Like that's when I really So probably in the past 4 to 5 years is where it really turned up on like the international side.
I seen Portugal was about 60,000 people.
Portugal was crazy.
Do you still get nervous? Like when you're going from, like you said, you started out in Detroit, small clubs, getting your feet wet, to now you're touring the world, 60,000 people venues. Are you still getting nervous in those situations?
I mean, honestly, yes. Yeah. But it's not like you would think. Like for me, the nerves kick in probably more before like I make my walk on stage. Once I'm on stage, it's like it ain't no going back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally no going back. And then the bigger the crowd for me, the easier it is also. Like, that's me. Because if I done rock rooms with 5 people in there when it was supposed to be 500. So, you know what I'm saying? If you could do, that's what a lot of artists be missing now. It's like they don't know about the struggle. So when you know, like all they know is big crowds, some of these artists. So when they got to fight through the harder crowds, they don't be knowing how, you know what I'm saying, how to put them gloves on.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Gucci Mane. How did you and him link up, and how did you convince him to, make you his official DJ and go on tour? Like there's all these DJs in the world. So how did you separate yourself, you think?
The Gucci gig, like I said, networking was my thing. So the Gucci gig came through a mutual friend. I had met on the Nicki Minaj tour. My guy Cliff, we had met, and he just do executive protection for a lot of these artists in the industry. And
Okay, yeah,
it just happened where Gucci was in Detroit and he was working with WAP. And I guess whoever was supposed to be there must have missed their flight that day. And I was on the couch about to take a nap, honestly, man. And then I got a call on Snapchat that said that they needed me to pull up.
okay,
DJ. So I pulled up. I didn't even talk to WAP before the show. Crazy thing. I had only talked to like his management and like the guy who was DJing before me. His name DJ Champ.
yes, Lou Champ.
So I had talked to Champ, and he just gave me a rundown of how Gucci usually like the show. And I really went out there and rocked it. And what's crazy is I was having laptop issues on stage all the way up until he got there. Like he had pulled up in the truck and was like, I had figured it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But ironically, I had almost like when after I quit working with Dave's Loaf, I had like kind of like I'm not gonna say I got blackballed, but I was just in a weird spot with the DJ life. So I had really turned to producing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I really wasn't like I didn't even have a laptop to DJ on. Long story short, like I had put all my focus on buying studio equipment to make beats. So I didn't even have a for sure laptop. Like when I was going to DJ, I was taking my young boy J3 and I would just run off his laptop. Like DJ off his laptop. I would pay him to come to every gig, set up the speakers, and just use his laptop. And I had to call him the day of that show, and he was an engineer. So the little thing I didn't know was that sometimes like your output could be going to Pro Tools instead of going to the whatever. Yeah. And that was the issue. Figured it out like 5 seconds before Gucci get out the truck, walk to the stage. Like it was literally a split second. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you got it done in time.
Sure, if I would have been up there fucking up, I probably wouldn't have left. You know what I'm saying? But right after the show, we ain't had no hiccups. And I remember getting in the truck, and the first thing they asked was like, "Do you have a passport?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah." Yeah. They're like, "All right, we're gonna call you in a week, and let you know some shit." And I'm like, "Man, they ain't gonna call me."
Yeah. How do you believe that's gonna come true? Yeah.
I'm like, because like I said, like Gucci was the man in my college days. So to get a call to go spin for him was crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? So when they talking about they're gonna call me in a week or some shit, I'm like, ain't nobody gonna call me.
Well, let's go back a little bit. You said your friend hit you up on Snapchat talking about you got this opportunity, and like you said, you kind of were removed from DJing. Did you hesitate to make that call? Did you think he was on some BS selling a wolf ticket or something? Did something tell you, yo, this is a legit situation?
Nah, because Cliff, he deep rooted. Like he deeper than me in this industry. So like I only seen him on Business Times, and I remember one other time, like I was with Ray Shermer, another group that I got cool with on the Nicki Minaj tour.
Yeah.
They had a show in Detroit. I think they was opening up for the weekend or some shit like that on this tour. But then was my guys after that Nicki tour. So that anytime they was in Detroit, they called my phone, like personally, Ryan, where you at? Pull up. So I'm at this arena, and this is probably the reason that Cliff kept fucking with me. I'm at this arena, and Cliff's there with his daughter, I guess, and she wanted to meet Ray Shermer.
Yeah.
So I end up connecting it, but it was one of them things where it was like, I didn't even know if I really wanted to ask them to take the picture because, you know, these my guys, but it's like, But I end up doing it. I end up doing a favor. His daughter got the pick, long story short. So I'm pretty sure, like, you know what I'm saying, that stuck in his head. Like, he ended up throwing me an alley-oop back. You know what I'm saying?
That's how this industry works. I wanted to highlight that because you've been so successful in this industry, but it is those moments where you looked out for someone where you didn't have to, or you did something that other people didn't do that help you stand out. And like you said, you looked out for his daughter, so now he's thinking of you to give you an opportunity. So they say you got your passport and they give you that call, what, a week later, 2 weeks later, and where's the first place you go out of the country with Gucci Mane on tour?
Well, we had like this Canadian run where he had like 4 shows overseas in Canada, and then we start going to like Dubai and shit like that. But like the first show after I had did it was I flew to Atlanta, and he popped out on Lil Baby's set at Birthday Bash, and then we immediately left there. Like I didn't do nothing in Atlanta. I didn't even know why I was there because I'm like, damn, Champ here. What the fuck am I doing here? So I end up having to just sit back, watch them do the Lil Baby set, and then immediately when he finished on stage with Baby, like Baby didn't even finish the show. We left, got in the car, drove 3.5 hours to Tennessee, and did this festival called Bonnaroo.
Oh yeah, dope.
So that was like my first one afterwards. And then we drove right back and I caught a flight like as soon as I got back to Atlanta. Like, so everything was moving so fast, it was like surreal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, this shit happening quick as hell.
That's dope. Well, because you put in all this effort and time, and now we've mentioned you're with Gucci Mane, legendary artist, as we said, but now you're with one of the hottest artists in the game, period, Babyface Ray. How did you guys meet up, and what's it like to know that you're about to go on tour with him and, get to do this all over again with like I said, one of the hottest artists in the game right
now? Like I said, I was doing mixtapes and shit around the city in Detroit, so like Ray was one of the guys always making noise in Detroit on the music. So like I'm pretty sure over the years he might have heard of me or he might not have. But when the time came for him to start doing shows, I think he wanted to beef up on the DJ personnel, and we got a mutual friend named Samuel Shabazz that just probably put the bug in his ear like, yo, Lime already out here doing shit with Gucci. And I remember Rolling Loud was coming up. And this was Ray's first Rolling Loud, so it was like shit. It was like Limelight's already gonna be at Rolling Loud. Like he said, he had like I'm like if y'all want to, y'all want to pop it off, we could pop it off at Rolling Loud. I'm already be there with Gucci. Like let's do the work. You know what I'm saying? That just turned us up and shit. We went on tour with Jack Harlow right after that, and we just really been running like the last 3-4 years for real.
Yeah. Now, can we talk about any of the dates that are upcoming? I don't know if it's been announced yet, or can we talk about any of the upcoming tour stops that people can catch you at?
Yeah, we got the Wavy Navy University tour about to come to a city near you. We are starting out on the West Coast. I think the first show is San Fran, and then we'll be going to LA, Houston, Dallas, Charlotte. Yeah. Pretty much everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We touching Atlanta, we touching Detroit, of course, Chicago, of course. We touching all the hot spots for the most part.
Now, with you being a Detroit native, how exciting is it to see how far Detroit music scene is right now? Like, all the artists are using their beats. You got Icewear, Vizzo. You got a lot of artists out of your market that's getting a lot of major looks right now. How does it feel for you to see how far Detroit's come in this music scene?
I actually love it, man, because like I said, I used to do mixtapes, just trying to spread the word with all the Detroit guys on there, like. Yeah, and I can remember deep as like 2016 or I remember whenever the All-Star game was in LA, I was at my homeboy house. Like I ain't even gonna say his name, but he know who he is. I was at my homeboy house, and this is when Detroit was like making noise. Like Ray had started messing with Future a little bit. Like we was climbing up. Like we was getting a little recognition, and then I was at my boy house, and I'm just like, man, you need to get hip to this. You need to get hip to this Bezo, And he like, man, you got to cut this shit off. Like, I'm tired of hearing this. Fast forward to now, you know what I'm saying? We always laugh at that moment because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a moment where, like, you wanted me to cut it off, but now you be listening to these guys. Like,
now you love it. Yeah, you didn't like that off-tempo beat, but now you're like, I need all that.
Yeah. But it was just like me. I always been trying to push this shit forward because I always heard the like I just got an ear for hit records. I feel
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Whether they from Detroit, Ohio, Cincinnati, like I got an ear for them the ones that people want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just where it kept me at.
So I seen you got a chance. I'm sure you've gone to a lot of dope stuff. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. So I saw you got to go to IU Bloomington Assembly Hall. Like you got to be in the dressing room. You got to what's it like being a DJ and getting to do all this amazing stuff that, most people don't get to do, get to go into the locker rooms and get to have those experiences. How is that for you?
It's very dope. I would say it's very dope, man. I definitely cherish all those type of memories.
Yeah.
A lot of times it does happen pretty fast. Just depending on which artist I'm with. Some of my artists, they like to come right when it's time. Some of my artists, like, I think the days of artists really chilling in dressing rooms and getting there all early might be over.
Yeah.
Just because, I think it's just to alleviate all the trouble that might could, erupt. Just for safety issues, a lot of the artists are just coming in doing what they got to do. So that actually leaves the dressing rooms to me now.
Yeah, you get it private.
So it's a good thing. I do love going to these arenas, getting to see like the Houston Rockets arena, like all the places we be watching my favorite athletes, and getting to walk those tunnels. It just gives you a different vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I call me and all my guys the arena boys, because we really be in them arenas,
cities,
walking these shits now.
Now, I seen you also have a residency with Drea's legendary Las Vegas venue. How did you get that opportunity, and what's the experience like being at Drea's as a resident DJ versus being on tour in the club? What's one of the differences you think?
Drea's, I actually do that with Gucci.
Okay.
One of the ones that he's all like pretty much like 8 to 10 times a year he's gonna be there. So they kind of like, they just make sure that they give me the opportunity to not just go 5 minutes before his set. Sometimes they give me the opportunity to do like a full hour headliner set before he gets to come out. So I do appreciate that. It just gives me the chance to brush up on my skills and see if I'm really at that level of these top guys who are making $10,000 30-minute bookings. And I mean, not 10,000, because that's like, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, the 6-figure 30-minute booking guys, like,
your dramas, your Who Kids, those names.
Giving me an idea on how close I might be to just taking over some of those sets where like Drama just did one music fest in Atlanta where he's he's bringing out these guys, like, it's just letting me know how close I am to those things, being able to do those in Vegas.
And with you having the success you had, like, everybody, it's Detroit versus everybody. Have you ever thought about doing your own festival yet and bringing your friends into
it's crazy because
doing something like that?
I threw a festival in 2000, like maybe 17, 18.
Okay.
It's called the Heart of the City Music Festival.
Yeah.
You could probably find a little bit of stuff online from it because it was the first music fest in Detroit. Like nobody, not the first, but like on the hip hop side, nobody was doing music festivals. It was always like the Ribs and Soul or like R&B music festivals. But I had took it on my end to me and a partner of mine, Antoine. We started Heart of the City, and we threw a music festival at a club, and we had Doughboys Cash out there, some of Team Eastside there. We had a lot of guys show up and show love and didn't charge me nothing, and I'm forever grateful for that. I wasn't able to keep it going, just like with the schedule, like a mine growing and things just going kind of crazy. I wasn't able to just, because it's a lot of work with the festival.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. People don't know that.
Yeah, so it just got a little out of control. I wasn't able to keep up with it.
Now, we highlighted a lot of your moments that I could find for you, but what's a moment to you that stands out that we might not have mentioned? Like, if you look back at your career over these years, what's one moment that stands out to you?
Standout moments. That's a good one. I'll definitely say controlling the whole music scene and like controlling like that urban crowd in college, I feel like is what made me, because it really showed like I could throw the party, host the party, DJ the party. You know what I'm saying? Like we was making bank in college. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to the point where the Greek organizations, they didn't want to throw icebreakers around. You know what I'm saying? Like most schools, the Greeks run it. Like I have flipped the narrative. Like if it was a Limelightz party going on, people wasn't going
Yeah, they
nowhere.
didn't want to compete with that.
Yeah, nobody was going nowhere else. And then, like I said, I had adapted the lifestyle of Detroit and brought it to Ohio. So it was like I'm having like local celebrities that people might know in Detroit pull up to, like I'm calling in the favors, you know what I'm saying? So I would say that's really what molded me and put that battery in my back. And then everything from there was just mirroring what I had already learned.
Do you have any advice for a DJ out there who's wanting to get into the DJ, become a DJ? I mean, advice you would give them based off your career and all the success you've had.
I would say you got to get out and network. That's top. That's top thing. Out of sight, out of mind. Like even me now, sometimes I be at home with the kids so much that I might not come out as much as I'm supposed to. And promoters might not be. Oh shit, we thought you was out of town. So you miss a lot of bags when you don't come outside. You know what I'm saying? And I that's what I will share to anybody in music, period. Like DJ, rapper, artist, host, whatever. Like you got to be on the scene if you really want to make some noise. Like it has to be people who said they seen you here, or like you got to have those experiences and connect with people that's like, man, I remember I was with him. He popped 5 bottles one night at the Rusty Bucket, just fucking around. Like like you gotta leave your blueprint around, not just on the internet. Like, and you see what's going on with the internet artists versus the guys who really got a little, a cult following. And you know what I'm saying? It shows with the hard ticket sales. So to anybody that's out there trying to do this entertainment shit, I would tell you branding. Just make sure you branding. Like me, I did t-shirts, I did stickers, I did everything you could think of on my come up. You know what I'm saying? I made sure every time I seen somebody in my merch or playing my CD when they roll by. Like I was going to burn 500 copies of CDs, 1,000. Like you feel me? Like don't never be afraid to do your own dirty work, man. You ain't never too big to do the dirty work.
Yep, facts. You got to be out there working. Now, you mentioned your family. How do you balance the two? Being there for your family, but then also being available for your entertainment friends and these tours. How are you balancing the two of those?
Man, I'm still trying to learn how to be perfect at it, but honestly, it's just whatever is the priority that day. Like, if my daughter's got piano, that's the priority. That's like
love it.
Verse, it's just you just gotta weigh your options. For the most part, if I'm touring, daddy, they know daddy's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like lately this year, the music biz has been super slow. So touring wasn't as like this year. I got a chance to be with my kids a little more because we didn't tour as heavy, but
that's dope.
Like the balance is always gonna be a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand they still kids, so they don't understand when daddy got to be gone for a month. They're just like, where daddy at? But
now, you mentioned you were a producer. Do you have any upcoming releases or anything we can circle on the calendar for you to be on the lookout for?
I just dropped a record on Talibando's album. The intro on his album he just dropped was last Friday. And then, I got a bunch of beats placed. I hate talking about them until they come out because it's like jinxing it, it's just crazy how that shit works, man. But yeah, I'm definitely working. I'm heavy in the studio, heavy just putting my imprint on different beats, or whether it's just music on different, just staying connected. I want to get into music directing, just bouncing around as I get older in this industry, just understanding that I might not want to DJ forever. I might want to be a music director, a tour manager, or program director, whatever I might fall into that I end up loving again, because I love DJing. So I want to find something that I'm just as passionate about before I actually transition to a new phase of what I do,
Yeah. Now, how important is a team to you, and who are some of the team members that help you do everything you got going on to, make your operation a success?
A team is very important because I really learned that this year is like everybody that I see flourishing has some sort of team around them. I did the Future tour. His team was amazing. Metro had a good team around him. My boy T Jizzle got a good team around him. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the team is more important than anything because
Yeah.
like you ain't gonna get nowhere without a couple people who got the common goal to push one thing. You know what I'm saying? My team, I got Barry on there. That's one of my graphic designers. I got Dennis Belton. He helps me with a lot of the media. So Sincere been helping me with some of the PR things.
Salute. Yeah.
Um, I really don't have no set in stone manager, which is crazy, but I just never found nobody with a Rolodex bigger than mine, and that
Yeah,
was my
you got a pretty big Rolodex yourself. Yeah.
like. I don't want nobody to just come in and think it's a cakewalk. You know, I
Yeah.
want somebody who already making calls. And then I also be feeling like until my phone blow up to the point where it's just inconvenient for me and my family and lifestyle,
Yeah.
I ain't willing to spend the 15%. But if
Yeah.
I will, with the right manager, I will be willing to spend the 15-20% if they bring it to the table what they supposed to be bringing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Make this shit easier on me. I'm more than willing to break bread. I've never been the guy to not break bread. Like everybody around me will tell you that. Like even my opening DJs that was about to come do it for free. Like, nah, I don't care if I gave you $100. You know, like whatever it is, like you ain't never really on no free shit with me. Like,
and then outside of DJing, what do you like to do for fun? Like if you got some downtime to yourself, what are you doing to enjoy yourself?
I like to play the game. I'm on Twitch a lot. I
Okay.
love to play Madden, Call of Duty, shit like that. Outdoor activities, not so much. I'm not really the outdoor guy. Kind of got crazy allergies. But I
Okay.
do like bowling and skating and like, you know, I'm still in the sporting thing. So, you know,
Okay.
I love going to games and shit like that. So traveling, enjoying myself, you know, when I get time, I love to go to Miami and just relax for a few days. Good, nice room, nice balcony, just vibes. I don't have to club, you know.
Yeah,
People
just enjoying the
confused,
atmosphere.
like they don't understand. I've been clubbing and partying so long, like I really be
Yep.
cool on it. I'm cool on it. I'm cool.
Yep.
If I can't make a bag when I'm going out, I don't be want to go no more hardly, which is a fucked up thing. And I be trying to work on that because, like I say, out of sight, out of mind is a
Yeah.
real thing.
Well, but you're kind of elevated in this situation. You're a Gucci Man's DJ, so you don't have to be out here, trying to
I
pound
ain't
the
gonna lie, they
pavement.
don't care about that though. They ain't
Yeah.
like the climate of this shit now is moving so fast. Like you still got to be in their face,
Yeah.
whether you Gucci DJ or Bruno Mars DJ.
Yeah.
Like that shit don't resonate like that unless you out here putting
Really
that
working.
blueprint down where it's like, well, damn, who is that crushing shit like? Oh, that's Gucci. Like it got to make sense. You can't just be at home. Like, oh, they gonna call me because I'm Gucci. Like that shit do not work like that. I do not want y'all to think that. Like, no.
Now you said you started out with mixtapes. Have you thought about re-releasing mixtapes now that there's another demand for it going and
I
people
ain't
are
gonna
starting to
lie,
really go back to it?
my guy Pesh over at Live Mixtapes,
Salute Pesh.
he's been trying to get me back to just over there doing because I did a lot of stuff over there. So he been in my ear saying do some stuff, and then other people be like, drop your own project. But I just be wanting the demand to be high enough.
Yeah.
You know, because you
Yeah.
see these heavyweight artists dropping, they doing 15,000. It's like, well, do I even want to give a project? Like that should be like giving the music away almost to me,
Yeah.
like wasting it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about how many of my friends be dropping music and it just don't get received the right way. And it's like, damn, can you go re-drop it because now they ready? Like, you know, it's just
Yeah. It's a hard thought process right now. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to a space where my mind is clear enough and my time is free enough where I can think and make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Lately, this shit been moving so fast. I ain't gonna lie, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to really brainstorm, but you know, we managing.
Yeah. And then last thing, anything else you want to say to your fans and supporters who've been rocking with you all these years before we get out of here?
Man, all my fans, supporters, I really appreciate y'all, man. It's been a wonderful ride. I can't do nothing but salute y'all. I appreciate all the support. Whether you bought a mixtape, showed up to a listening party, came to the club, was at a show, whatever it is, whether you follow me on the gram or not. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate all of the love, all of the success is never going without thanking the people, man. I appreciate you for having me on this interview today. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing more interviews. You know, just trying to be more vibrant out here on the scene.
Yeah, I salute you on that. And are you I gotta ask, because I work with a lot of artists. Are you looking for new artists for projects, or
I'm
anything
always
like
open.
that?
I'm always open. You know what I'm saying? My DM, I pretty much get back to everybody pretty fast on there. So follow me on Instagram at DJ Limelightz. My email stay jumping off the hook. So if you ever say you email me, I'm sorry, I might not have synced it. Or I might have had to clear it out real quick to get to some other emails. Email is not the way to me. DM me. I'm right there. Even if you comment right on the picture, I'm kind of right there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, that's
I appreciate it, man. Well, I hope you have a great night, and I appreciate your time tonight.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, brother.
Salute.
Yeah.